So a little bit on epidemiology. The estimates in terms of seroprevalence, and I'm going to explain what that means, in the human population, the CDC reports about 22% of people in the US have been exposed to toxoplasmosis. And the way they know you've been exposed is by doing a blood test and looking for antibodies to exposure. So when you are exposed to a disease, your body, your immune system will launch antibodies. And we can measure that. So if we took a blood sample from all of you and submitted it, they would estimate about 22%. Those percentages vary. They're as high as 45% in some of the studies and as low as 11%. So it does depend, and it seems to be somewhat regional. But that is their overall estimate of human population in people 12 years and older. So if we did a test right now, a fair number of us would probably have antibodies to toxoplasmosis. And if you have been pregnant, there's a chance you have been tested. Some of you have probably been tested. And so you know whether or not you have antibodies. Much higher in other parts of the world, in Latin America, Asia, and Africa, the seroprevalence, meaning the people who have antibodies to the disease, much, much higher. And so there are reasons for that. We'll talk a little bit about that. In terms of our cats and our dogs in the US, the seroprevalence, so that again is a blood test in the cat looking for antibodies to Toxoplasma, 30 to 40% of cats have antibodies. So they have been infected with Toxoplasma at some point. They probably have tissue cysts or cysts in the brain, just like the people who have been exposed or infected. So 30 to 40% of cats, 20% in dogs, it's lower. And again, this is based on antibody testing. And so you're looking for infection or exposure historically. That does not mean that those cats are shedding infective stages of the disease now. It does not mean that you have active disease, but it does mean that you have been exposed and you may indeed have cysts somewhere in your body. The parasite may be hiding out. We call that a cysticercus if it's in your brain, and it's one of my favorite words because it sounds like it's fun. Like you're having a little circus in your head. It's not really fun, I don't think, but we do it's one of my favorite words. I think it would be a great name for a boat or a band.